Hello, I'm Harta Sigiro. My student ID number 20011022144. About what I learned in this class, English phonology and morphology. Phonology is how the sounds in a sentence or the words are arranged. The sounds were made by the organ in our body when we are speaking language. The organs are lungs, trachea, vowel cords, cricoid, thyroid, medium, dorsum, lamina, apex, uvula, alveolum, mouth, lip, and the others. Phonetics. Phonetics is the sounds of language. When you are speaking, it's good to know about a segment of word because some of phrases in a sentence that are clearly distinct when print may be ambiguous when spoken. For example, when you say grade A, you may mispronounce it's like grade A, or when you say ice cream, you may mispronounce it's like ice cream. So this distinction of segment is very needed to clarify what the speaker are speaking. There are also some sounds that aren't classified as part of speech, such as coughing sounds. Cough sounds is classified as random sounds. This distinction of phonetics attempts to describe all of the sounds used in all languages of the world. Acoustic phonetics focuses on the physical properties of the sounds. Auditory phonetics concerned with how listeners perceive these sounds, and articulatory is the study of how the vowel tract produce the sounds of the language. Phonetics phonology, it has its own alphabet, or we may call it APA, or International Phonetic Alphabet. This APA consists of 25 consonants and 15 vowels. Consonants are produced with some restriction or a closure in the vowel tract that impedes the flow of air from the lungs. In speaking of alphabet, we might call C. There are 25 sounds of the consonants. Consonants are classified into two, such as place of articulation and manner of articulation. Vowels are produced with a little restriction of the airflow from the lungs out through the mouth and or the nose. In speaking of alphabet, we might call V. There are 15 sounds of vowels. Place of articulation is the place where the sounds are made. Some of the places. Labels. The sounds produced by ringing both lips together. P, B, or M. Labiodentals produced when bottom lips touch upper teeth. F and V. Interdentals, the sounds both spell T and H. Alveolars, produced with the tongue raised in various ways to the alveolar ridge, T, D, N, S, J, L, R. Palatals, the constriction occurs by raising the front part of the tongue to the palate. Velars, produced by raising the back of the tongue to the soft palate, K, Z, and uvulars. Uvular sounds are produced by raising the back of the tongue to the uvula. R, K, Z. Glottals. The sounds of H is from the flow is from the flow of air through the open glottis, the pass, the tongue and lips as they prepare to pronounce vowel sounds, which always follows H. About manner of articulation. Manner of articulation is the place about how the sound is made, more about whether it vibrate or not. Manner articulation is also divided into such as voiced and voiceless. Voiced is when there are vibration in mouth, while voiceless is when there are no vibration in the mouth. The example is the word fine and fine. The F in fine is voiceless, while the V in fine is voiced. There are other ways to produce sound, and that is with nasal and oral sound. Nasal sound is when the volume is lower and the air escapes through the both of the mouth and the nose. Oral sounds is produced when sounds produced with the volume up, blocking the air escaping through the nose. Most of sound in the world are oral sounds. The presence or absence of these phonetic features, nasal and voiced, permit the division of all speech in 4 classes: voice, voiceless, nasal, and oral. The explanation that I already said is classified for consonants. As for the nasalization of vowels, the rules are: when the nasal passage is blocked, oral vowel is the result. When the nasal passage is open, nasal vowels is the result. In English, nasal vowels occur for the most before nasal consonants in the same syllable, and oral vowels occur in all other places. In phonology, there diphthong, where diphthong is a sequence of two vowels sounds together. It present in phonetic library on many languages. Prosodic features. Length, pitch, stress are prosodic and suprasegmental features. Speech sounds that are identical in their pitch or manner features may differ in length or duration. Tense vowels are slightly longer than lax vowels, but only by a few milliseconds. However, in some languages, when a vowel is prolonged to around twice its normal length, it can make a difference between words. In Japanese, biru with one eye has the meaning building, while biru with double I means beer. When we speak, we also change the pitch of our voices. The pitch depends on how fast the vowel cords vibrate. The faster they vibrate, the higher the pitch. If the larynx is small, as in children, the shorter vowel cords vibrate faster and the pitch is higher, all other things being equal. If the larynx is large, as in adults, the longer vowel cords vibrate more slowly and the pitch is lower. In many languages, certain syllables in a word are louder, slightly higher in pitch and somewhat longer in duration than other syllables in the word. They are stretch syllables. Language that use the pitch of individual vowel or syllables to contrast meaning of words are called tone language, and most of the language is tone language, such as Mandarin, Chinese, Thailand, etc. About the sound patterns of language, phonemics. Phonemics are the basic form of sounds essential mentally rather than spoken or heard. Each phonemics is manifest orally by one or more sounds, called alphonies, uh, which are perceivable sounds corresponding to the phonemics in various environments. Phonemics are the dark matter of phonology. They are not physical sounds and directly observable. The phonological rules of language apply to the phonemics to determine the pronunciation of words. A particular pronunciation phonemics is called a phone. In English, each vowel phoneme has both oral and nasalized phonemes. The choice of alphone is not random but rule governed. The graphically distinct phoneme and its alphone, we use slices to enclose phonemes and continue with square brackets for alphonemes. Here are some phonological rules related to phonemes. Change feature values. Nasal consonant assimilation rules in English. Add new features. Aspiration in English. Delete segments. G dilation before nasal in English. Add segments. Insertion in English plural and past tense. The relationship between the phonemics and phonemes of a language is complex and varied. Rarely is a single phoneme realized as one and only one phone. Here, for example, like I in compete and in brackets in competition. Slip of tongue or speech errors in which we divide in some way from an intended range. For example, the one intended is going to sit when the actual adherence is got to sin. Syllable. Syllable is words are composed of one or more syllables. A syllable is a phonological unit composed of one or more phonemes. Every syllable has one nucleus, which is usually a vowel. This nucleus may present followed by one or more phonemes. It's called onset encoder. Word stress in many languages, including English, one or more of the syllables in every content are stressed. It is marked with an acute accent above the syllables. Sequential concentration of phonemes. Your knowledge of English phonologicals includes information about what sequences of phonemes are permissible and what sequences are not. The limitations on sequence of segments are called phonetic constraints. Phonetic constraints have as their basis the syllable rather than the word. All languages have constraints on the permitted sequence of phonemes, although different languages have different constraints. I think that's all what I learned from this class. Thank you for listening.